go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have all new Christmas DIYs for you using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to be doing a lot of Santa Claus, a lot of reindeer, very traditional Christmas DIYs today. And we're going to do a shabby chic makeover of this little Santa Claus sign. At first, I was just going to leave his face like natural wood, but then I was thinking it might be a little too light, so I decided to give it a light stain by mixing mostly water with Antique Wax by Waverly, and I'm only staining this part of his face because the rest of him is going to be covered with different materials. And then I need to paint his nose, and then I also decided to give him little rosy cheeks. So I'm using just some salmon colored acrylic and one of those little stencil brushes from the Dollar Tree, little dauber, to give me a perfect circle. Then I'm going to mix a little white in with that same color to give a little pink nose to our Santa Claus. Now for the hat, we're going to be using one of the little chair covers that look like giant Santa hats from Dollar Tree. It's not real plush, but that's what I wanted. I wanted like a fabric that I could use for his hat that would be able to kind of fold and go around that curve and kind of look a little bit more high end than the plushy stuff, but you can kind of use whatever you have. Now, the tricky part is kind of getting it cut to size. I just cut a little square out, and then I'm going to hot glue it right there on the upper part of that little cutout for the brim of his hat. Once I get that glue down, I can kind of cut off the excess material there. That part's going to be covered, so you don't have to worry about cutting that neat or anything. And then I'm going to hot glue it right here, making sure that I am purposely like leaving like little folds in the fabric to kind of give it kind of a more luxurious like 3D feel there. And so I kind of left like 2 or 3 like little major folds there, and I glue that down on that side too. At first I thought about folding it over, but then I decided, this is going to be a standing project. I wanted to have a clean back. So I decided just to cut my fabric using some sharp scissors and just cutting it like straight with the line of the wood sign. Now, I was inspired to make the Santa Claus today I saw a picture on a blog. I think it was called For Your Eyes Only. I'll be sure to include a link to it in the video description below, but she made a really cute little Santa like this that was shabby chic, and I wanted to see if I could kind of recreate it, but only using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So far, everything's from the Dollar Tree, including the little mop head. I love using these. I always stock up for these for winter because I use them for fake snow, but they also work great for Santa Claus hats and for mustaches is what we're going to use here. So I want to cover that top brim of the Santa Claus hat with this. And it's a little tricky, so I just kind of cut down a rectangle that's about the right width. And then I'm going to like round the edges, and be aware when you cut these little mop heads from the Dollar Tree, they shed a lot. So kind of be prepared to that. I was trying to just cut the fabric on the back. One of you guys gave that to me as a tip, and it did help a little bit. And cut out like that little upside down U shape there to go on the top of the hat. Just a matter of kind of pulling out any of the excess shedding and shaping that. Now I'm just going to hot glue that down, kind of covering up the fabric that was folded there in the top to give me a fluffy little Santa hat. So cute. We're not going to do any eyes or anything on this. Maybe the Santa hat is covering his eyes. Maybe he's a little bit more abstract. But that's how he looks so far, and so cute. Now for the beard, she had hers with like lace and fabric, like rags, and so I'm going to try to do the same. Now, this is a white lace ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree, and then I'm also going to be using some of their white polyester fabric from the Dollar Tree. At first, I was going to use that bag, but it did not want to shred. So this fabric shreds perfectly, and I'll show you what I mean with that. So I'm just cutting it down into a little piece here. I'm going to cut down a couple rectangles. And then I am going to kind of fold that in half here or cut that in half again so I have little squares. Then I just cut like little notches about every inch or so. And then all you have to do is grab the fabric and rip, and you get a nice like shabby chic little rag strips, which is what I was going for. So we're just going to go ahead and do a few to get us started. Now, when they have strings on the side, I do try to pull them out so it's not too crazy, but you do want them to look a little bit shredded. And then I am just going to start hot gluing these on. I kind of left my pretty parts there on the bottom because if I need to go in and trim it up, that'll be the part I cut off. So I kind of want the rag look everywhere else. So I'm just gluing them right next to each other, and I want to do a band of these all the way across. So we're going to have to rip a few more. So I'm just going to cut some more strips, and I'm not measuring these or anything. I'm just kind of estimating. And finished off the first row. Then we're going to switch to the white lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to cut pieces about the same length. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to go in and like alternate in between each one of the little rag strips that we did. Now, I don't do the shabby chic look often. I have done it for like 4th of July, but I really love it. It's really pretty. And this really kind of inspired me. And so I'm trying to cut out enough of the little lace ribbons to kind of go in between each one and fill out our beard. One more here on the right. Now, it's not very full and I want a full beard. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and repeat the process. So for the next row, I'm going to switch back to the little rag strips. This time I'm gluing those like directly on top of the ribbon, but kind of making them kind of go off to the side. I want a nice full beard on this little guy. And I've never made a Santa beard like this before, so it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun putting this guy together. And I apologize if my voice sounds like crazy. My husband got really sick over Thanksgiving. He's actually still sick. And he finally gave it to me and my son. I took my son back to college from Thanksgiving break. And now he's sick and has all this testing. Ugh, I don't know what it is, but I am chugging orange juice and ready for it to go away. Now, I said I wanted it full, so I'm going to do another row of the lace ribbon. And I am just cutting enough strips I think it's going to take to fill it out. And then again, I'm just going to hot glue those right in between the two rag strips. And this final layer made it nice and full, nice fluffy beard, and really fun. Now, if you're wondering what I'm going to do with the mustache, we're going to use the mop head that we used on the top of the Santa hat. So I still have some pieces left over. So what I need to do is kind of cut two little kind of C shapes for each side. So I get one cut down to size, and I kind of use that for reference to cut down another. And again, they are going to shed, so be prepared for that. And it's going to be a nice fluffy little mustache for our Santa Claus. I'm just going to glue that on with hot glue, trying to make sure it's not going to cover up too much of his face. To the left side and the right side. He is looking so cute and festive already. Gonna give him a quick trim there on his little mustache, make it not quite so full. And then I want to decorate his little hat. That chair cover from the Dollar Tree that we used for his hat actually had a little white pom-pom on the tip that's going to be just the right size. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip that off the end. And we can put that here on our Santa hat. Now on my inspiration piece, she put like pine cones and jingle bells and stuff like that. And I don't have a lot of room since I did the little ball on the end of the Santa hat, but I did still want to kind of include jingle bells. And I have some of these giant jingle bells that I picked up at Dollar Tree that are just the silver ones. So I just string that with some twine, and I'm just going to tie that on to the tip of the Santa hat just for fun. He is looking so cute. I want to make mine standing, and so I actually got one of these little signs here from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that to make it a standing sign. You could always lean this up against something if you wanted, or you could make it a hanging sign. It did have like a hole in it originally, you know. And then I'm going to go in and trim. So I'm kind of like just kind of cutting at an angle for one side and then kind of reversing that angle over here to trim all of our ribbon and fabrics to kind of give them that Santa beard shape and make them not quite so random length. And I do have quite a few layers, so I got to make sure that I get them all. And then I'm going to attach that little Shabby Chic Santa to that little stand so he can stand up as part of my Christmas decor. I love using these to make stands. You can also use like the little wood circle frames if you can't find these, but I don't have any trouble finding these. I use these all the time. But I am going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue because it's metal. I want to make sure that this stays together. And, you know, metal and hot glue doesn't always play nice, but I do want it on there for the quick hold. And this Santa hat sign, even with all that stuff we added to it, was still not very heavy at all. And this size stand really had no problem holding it up just right. He's looking super cute. Now, I was looking at him and I was like, you know, the paint on the face is a little much for me. I do want to distress it. So I am going to go in with a little ivory, a little dry brushing, and just give a light distress on the nose and the rosy cheeks for the final touch of my little Santa Claus DIY. And let me show you how he looks. He's so cute. Rosy cheeks, little nose, kind of reminds me a little bit of a gnome. Santa Claus. I think he's really sweet and really fun. And thank you so much to whoever runs that blog for the inspiration. I love it. And I hope you do too. Now, I found the perfect thing to display this little Santa Claus with. This was at the Target dollar spot for $5. It lights up. It's a reindeer barn. It's covered in glitter, and it's got 3 little reindeer inside. Look how cute this is. It's absolutely beautiful. Doesn't need anything, but I'm going to display it with that Santa Claus, so I kind of wanted to show you where I got it. And Target dollar spot, they have some really cute stuff this year. So here it is, our little reindeer barn. It lights up just like the little houses and stuff like that. You know, I also got the glittery gingerbread, like cocoa cafe that I used on my gingerbread coffee bar. So much fun. I love it. And this is how the little reindeer barn looks next to our little Shabby Chic Santa Claus. Okay, for the next DIY, we're going to use one of these little plain wood frame signs from the Dollar Tree. And I designed the cutest printable for you guys. Look at this image of Santa Claus and a reindeer. I absolutely love it, and I will share that printable with you in the description below. It really made me smile because the Santa Claus looks just like one of my grandfathers that passed away when I was a child. And so it really made me smile, and I'm definitely going to have to keep this as part of a Christmas tradition. Now, I printed mine out 8.5 by 8.5, which is how big the opening of this Dollar Tree sign is. But my printer doesn't do like borderless, and so I do have a small gap. I think mine prints out like at 97%, but I did design it to be 8.5 by 8.5 inches wide. But you can always resize it for whatever your needs are. And I just put down a thin layer of Mod Podge and laid that down. I printed it out on cardstock, so I don't have to worry about wrinkling or anything like that, or dry time. I can just go over it with my next coat of Mod Podge to seal it on top. And this part's really important because it's going to give it like a really great texture, like a painting, and just a really great surface on there. Now, I don't really like the unfinished part of the frame. It's like an MDF around the edges. So I thought we could dress it up with some of this greenery from the Dollar Tree. These are the little wired garland ties. And I am just going to cut them down to size. I'm going to cut one piece for each part of the frame. I kind of go edge to edge on top to bottom and then kind of fill in the gap for the sides. And I thought that would be really cute attached to it. It's definitely going to give you that vintage Christmas feel. But I really like my Christmas trees to be kind of flocked. Now, for my first one, I used way too much paint. But what I'm doing is I'm just using some white acrylic and a little chunky brush from Dollar Tree and flocking these. Since I put too much on there, I kind of wiped off the excess with a baby wipe. But less is more. You kind of want to dry brush it like this. for the other ones to give it that flocked look of Christmas trees. And I think this really gave it a nice vibe. Once I got those all painted, now we can attach it. I thought the easiest way would be just to use my staple gun, but you could probably get away with using hot glue. You just have to be careful because that Dollar Tree greenery does melt a little bit. Now I decided to kind of make mine one continuous way all the way around, so it'll kind of look like a continuous piece of garland going around. So I did kind of make sure they were all going that same direction. And that frame is plenty thick enough to use a staple gun on and just kind of tack those down. And then you can always fluff out your greenery to cover up your staples. And how easy is that? Again, I will include this free printable. I absolutely love it. It's so vintage. It's so cute. There's even like a little bird like I'm sitting in the reindeer's antlers. Isn't that so cute? And the Santa Claus looks just like my Grandpa Morgan. Isn't this so fun? Now, this is a hanging sign, but you know what? I think I might just actually lean it up in my decor in a cabinet or something like that. You could use it either way, and the hanger could always just, hide behind it. Isn't that so cute? Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about memberships. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the join button underneath this video. Okay, back to the crafting. I was inspired so much by the little Santa Claus, I wanted to see what I could do with one of these Dollar Tree reindeer. Now, most people just paint these, but I thought that might be boring, so I wanted to see how many textures I could bring into this and how we could decorate this. Now, I've had this problem with these before. They do not want to unglue. I don't know if it's this material it's made out of. It's not wood. It's like MDF. And my first antler broke, which I was a little concerned about because this was the only reindeer sign I had, but I really wanted to do this project still, so we're going to make it work. I can just attach it to the top, so I decided to break off the other one the same way and not really worry about this. I cleaned it up a little bit, but that can just be the back of my reindeer, and I can just flip it over and kind of have a blank canvas on the other side. Now, what I was thinking, it would be really cute to have a reindeer that was like covered in burlap for the brown part, for its head. And then do like a different kind of texture for the little antlers. I did have to trim them up a little bit, but I can just attach them to the top of the head like that, and it'll be as good as new. I'm still going to make it a hanging sign. Now, this is the burlap we're going to use. This is the Dollar Tree burlap. It comes in a roll, and I just want to get a piece that I can cover the entire reindeer with. So I'm going to cut out a square of this that's going to cover the ears, the head, everything. And I'm going to show you a little trick for cutting burlap so that it doesn't ravel out. So a lot of you guys have told me that you had a lot of luck with this, and I've tried it a couple times, and it definitely works really well. I'm going to kind of just lay my reindeer on top of the burlap. And I'm going to use a Sharpie just because I didn't know if a pen would really show up on the burlap. And I'm carefully kind of sketching it out, trying not to get like ink on the side of my reindeer sign. And then we can cut that out. Now, it's kind of hard to work with because, this Dollar Tree burlap is rolled. And so I was like, how am I going to do this if it keeps rolling up on me? And I'm like, you know what? I have my Cricut Easy Press right here. Let me just give it a quick press real quick, and it's just going to make my life easier. So let me iron this real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges where we did the Sharpie outline in the reindeer head. And we were just going to paint those areas with Mod Podge. And then give that a quick dry with my heat gun. And then I can cut around there, cut out any kind of shape, and the burlap is not going to fray. And as you can tell by the edges of this, that's not normally the case. It likes to fray a lot. But I don't want it to look real sloppy. I want it to look real clean along the edges. You don't want to use too much, just enough to kind of cover the area where you're going to cut. And so I just used a small paintbrush and just kind of painted that on. And then I went in and gave it a quick dry with my heat gun. And then we can cut it out, and you can see how great this cuts. I'm trying to cut like the whole Sharpie part off. I don't really want any of that black on my burlap, and this worked really well. Another thing that I use a lot and we'll be using later on is those little burlap bags from the Dollar Tree. Those don't fray, that like synthetic burlap. Those are great for covering items like this too, but I wanted to use real burlap on this one. I needed something that was just as cool as that little Santa, so I'm going to give it a go and try to come up with a reindeer design. I'm just going to leave the MDF brown. I think that's fine. If you wanted the white to show through or something like that, you could paint it white first. And then I'm going to put down a pretty good coat of Mod Podge all over. The fabric is kind of thick, and I don't really want to Mod Podge over the top of the burlap, so you want to do enough that's going to adhere it and just lay your little cutout right on top of your little reindeer head. Just smoothing that out. It's looking cute. Now, I told you I wanted to cover the antlers with something else. And so I thought I wanted something else brown and something else that would look reindeer-like. And so instead of burlap on these, we're going to switch it up to the Dollar Tree faux leather. And I do have some of the brown. Looks like I've used it before on another project. And I'm just going to roll it over, and I can use an ink pen now and just kind of trace out exactly how big my little antlers are so that I can cut these down to size. Now, this faux leather from the Dollar Tree is real easy to work with. It is a breeze to cut. You can cut any kind of custom shapes like that, and it seems to hold up pretty well. The only problems I've had crafting with this stuff is it does not like to glue to itself, and it does not like to glue to glass. Two things I found out. And so I'm just going to carefully go around that ink line and cut this down to size, trying to get it the perfect size to fit on my antlers with no like sharp edges. So kind of take your time on that part. And even though it's a lot darker than the burlap, I think it's going to be a nice complementary brown color. It's going to look really cute on this reindeer DIY. And we've got some plans to decorate these little antlers as well for Christmas. And I absolutely love how this DIY turned out. And we've almost got this one trimmed down. And now we can attach. Now, you could use a stronger glue than Mod Podge. I'm just going to use Mod Podge and kind of give it a chance to dry. You could also use like Dollar Tree tacky glue if you like. I think I'd probably avoid hot glue though, because I think that faux leather might possibly melt. So I just do a nice thick coat of Mod Podge all over mine, and it seemed to work, but it did take a few minutes to dry. So we're going to do that on both of those. Now, the hanger for the little reindeer was on the antlers. So once I get these on there and get them dry, I can go in and kind of poke that back through. I'm just using a little Cricut weeder just to poke a hole through the front. It doesn't have to be pretty or anything. I'm going to have twine come through there. I'll have a knot tied in the front. It'll kind of hide it anyway. But I want to make sure that that is all glued down. And look how cute the brown leather looks with the burlap. Now, I do need something to kind of reinforce it to make it strong since they don't overlap like they did before. And so I'm going to do that with popsicle stick. So let's flip it over and kind of line it up where I want it. I kind of like it better flat like this than it was before anyway. And then I can do like a little half of a popsicle stick on each one. And the sign is thick. It's not necessarily thick enough for my stapler, so I am just going to use hot glue to hot glue that popsicle stick onto the back, and you won't be able to see it. It'll hide back there, and it seemed to be plenty strong to hold up the little reindeer antlers. He's looking so cute. Definitely needs a nose, though. And I'm going to use like just a little Dollar Tree wood puzzle piece as a reference, just because I needed a circle. And again, we're going to be using that chair cover that we got from the Dollar Tree, so he'll have a little matching red Rudolph nose to go with that Santa Claus that we made. And I just use that as a template to draw a little circle on there with an ink pen, and I can cut this perfect little circle down to size. Circles are hard. I do not try them unless I have a roadmap. And then I'm going to use Mod Podge to glue that down. It's just a, kind of a nice felt that material is made out of. It crafted really well. I'm going to kind of spread out the Mod Podge with my baby wipe to make sure that kind of glues evenly and doesn't look hardened or anything like that, and help it out with my heat gun. Now, I was trying to think what I can make its eyes with, and I was thinking that the brown leather would be good because it'd be a nice complementary color to the antlers. Now, I'm just drawing on the back with a Sharpie. That first eye was way too big, so I'm going to make two a little smaller, and we're just going to make little closed eyes. Definitely the easiest way to make an eye for an animal like this. Two little C shapes. And I'm just going to cut those down to size with the brown leather. And I'm really glad that I decided to give it eyes because I think it gave it a lot of personality, and it was so easy to make with this faux leather. So just cutting those down, trying to make them uniform and look good. Isn't that so sweet so far? And kind of line those up where I think his little eyes would be. And I'm going to use tacky glue for this one. It's a little too small to try to get Mod Podge in, and tacky glue works great for projects like this. I also picked that up at the Dollar Tree. I get my Mod Podge at the Dollar Tree too because I love the little bottles because I don't have to worry about them drying up. And glue them right in place. Now I'm going to replace the hanger, so I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree twine for that. And I'm just going to feed that in through the back and again, knot it in the front of the antlers. It's just a matter of getting it through there. If you have trouble kind of feeding it through, you might need to put a little hot glue on the end of your twine to kind of make it a little bit harder, but I was able to feed mine through pretty easily. And then I'm just going to knot it in front, and that twine goes great with the burlap that is on the little reindeer face. So we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. And I told you we were going to be decorating the antlers because even though he's so cute, I think we can really make him even cuter. So I did have a little bit more trouble feeding this side in, so I just used a Cricut weeder to kind of help me feed it in there. And then I wanted to use a fun decoration, and I thought this little snowflake ornament that I got at Dollar Tree would be perfect. It's like a glittery brown snowflake with like ribbon, greenery, and stuff like that on there. And even though it's got a hole in it, we can kind of disguise that. I think this is going to work great and provide a lot of character to this little guy. So I'm just going to glue that little snowflake here right on top. Just a quick, easy way to decorate him. I thought about a bow, but I kind of like that better. And then I thought it would be really cute to use these little decorative bells from the Dollar Tree. They're all strung together to make it look like the little reindeer has jingle bells wrapped all over his antlers. I've seen people do this with like Christmas lights and stuff, and it looks so cute. And I didn't have any Christmas lights like that, so I thought jingle bells would be perfect, and I love how this turned out. So these are like the silver and gold jingle bells, and I'm fine with that. And they're strung on silver line. I'm just going to kind of string them around the antler like that to look like it's completely wrapped around. And they do have a little bit of play where you can kind of move them around to kind of get the jingle bell right where you want. I do want one on the top of that snowflake to kind of cover that hole right there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that little jingle bell in place. And we're going to wrap these and glue these around both of the antlers. And I'm so glad I added these. These are so fun, and they even jingle. So I'm just going to kind of glue them in place right where I want them. I want them kind of random, some going up, some going down. I definitely want them all on the front of the antlers so that it doesn't make the reindeer kind of stick out from the wall. So then we're going to do the same thing here on the other side. We're just going to string these all around like they're all tangled around his antlers. It's not going to require the full strand, but I use most of it here. And then I'm going to just kind of cut this one down and glue those in place as well. I think he turned out so cute. You guys know my son always loved to see all of my DIYs, and He's not feeling too well, and so we were FaceTiming earlier, so I had to show him the DIYs, and this one was his favorite. You guys know he has good taste, so here is Chase's favorite little Rudolph. Now the bow kind of didn't really have anything really cute in the middle of it, so I'm also going to glue another one of the little jingle bells from that set right there to the center of the little buffalo check bow, but I think that is plenty, and it jingles. So if you hang this on a door, I think I might hang mine on the door to the garage, so it'll jingle every time you go in and out. I'm sure my husband will really appreciate it. But look how cute he is. I love him, and I'm so glad I decided to DIY him. Isn't he so cute? I think the leather and the burlap look really good together. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Okay, next DIY. Have you guys seen these new signs from the Dollar Tree? I love them. They have like a burlap background. I'm just going to pop off the little clip I don't need. It was just glued on. It's got a brown border with like little brass rivets around there. It's already got a built-in stand and everything, and I thought this would be great to DIY with. We're going to use some of the macrame cord from the Dollar Tree, and I thought we can make a really cute little snowman on this side. The burlap background, the frame, this stand, all of that's already done. So I can just kind of decorate it however I want, and since it's a tall sign, I think a snowman's going to be perfect. I love this macrame cord. I love crafting with it. I stock up on this. I probably need to stock up on it more because I've used so much of it. What I want to do is just spiral my little macrame cord, and we're going to do 3 circles to make our snowman. So I'm going to start here in the bottom. I'm going to just start right in the center of where I want my circle to be. And then I'm going to do a little circle of hot glue and squeeze those around. Go around and kind of repeat the process. My hot glue gun kind of shoots out a lot of hot glue, so I could kind of do a multiple rows on one shot of glue there, but I'm trying really hard not to get any glue on the top of the macrame cord because I find that it doesn't dry too nice, so I'm trying to avoid that if possible. And I'm just going to kind of have the end of it be here at the bottom because there definitely has to be an end to it, and I think that'll be fine. So I'm going to make sure I clean up any excess hot glue again. I don't want to get any on top because it kind of yellows, I've noticed, when it dries if you get any hot glue on top. Now for the second circle, I'm going to start in the middle again, and then I will stop when I get to the little circle for the snowman bottom. So again, I start in the middle. I do a circle of hot glue, and all I am doing is just going around in circles with that, gluing that down. I thought it would be easier just to do it while it's attached to the sign rather than making these separate like little tiny coasters. Just make sure you don't burn yourself. This one I'm going to have the seam kind of go up towards the top. I'm using my little hot glue finger protector there from Dollar Tree. It works great for stuff like this. And then I want the top circle of my snowman to be even smaller, so I didn't give myself quite as much room for this one. And we're going to make a little snowman head. I wanted to make sure that I left myself plenty of room to make a little snowman hat. We're going to make a very traditional little snowman with this. And I have the seam there at the top on that one as well. I can kind of hide that a little bit probably with the hat, which we're going to make out of one of these little black leather bags from the Dollar Tree. I love crafting with these. So if you can't find the faux leather at Dollar Tree, be sure to check out the bags. Now, I'm actually not using the leather because this has a brown leather frame. I thought that might kind of be distracting, so I'm actually using the black felt on the inside. I really like crafting with that too. And as you can see, I'm just cutting down a very simple little snowman hat, just kind of seeing what scale would fit my little snowman. And we're going to use it felt side up, a little traditional black snowman hat, and we'll kind of probably tilt it off to this side like that. Super cute. And I also want to kind of cover up that area up there where the little clip was glued on. Now for buttons, I'm using Dollar Tree buttons and just trying to find 2 of my tiniest black ones. He's not a very big snowman, so I want to get some of the smallest ones I can. I found 2 that I think will work. And then for the eyes, I need it to be even smaller. So I'm going to be using these little stickers from the Dollar Tree. I know they're hot pink, but you know what? You can always paint these, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take 2 of those little stickers and paint them with some acrylic. I just go over mine with a couple coats of black acrylic, and we'll have 2 tiny little eyes because the snowman head is not big enough to have like little button eyes or anything like that. And I definitely wanted something besides paint for the eyes. Now, for the snowman nose, I was lucky enough to find some orange modeling clay at Dollar Tree, so I thought that would be perfect, but you can use whatever you have. If you have any of the Model Magic too, you can do that really easily. Making a carrot shape for the nose is so easy. It's just like a little V shape, if you will, like a carrot. I kind of made mine a little too big, so I'm just making mine a little bit smaller. And you can even make lines in the carrot with like your fingernails or something like that to kind of make it look realistic. I'm just kind of molding mine until it's perfect. And if you do have like the white Model Magic from Dollar Tree, you can't find the clay, you could totally use that too and just paint it orange. Now for the scarf for our little snowman, we are again using that little chair cover from Dollar Tree. And I just cut out a little strip. I just want to make a little tiny red scarf. And so I just cut out a little strip here and kind of straighten out the edges. Now it's time to decorate our snowman. So a little dot of hot glue for each one of my buttons. We're only going to do buttons on this middle part of the snowman body. And then we can also do his hat, his eyes, and his carrot nose, even his cute little scarf. So I did kind of want to cover that area up there at the top where there was a little clip. But I also kind of want my snowman hat to be at an angle a little bit. I think that's going to give him a little bit of character. So I think that looks pretty good. And this is pretty durable, so I'm just going to hot glue that on with no problem. Right where I want it. Now for the little face, we can just go ahead and attach that with hot glue too. We painted the little eyes black. Now, these are actually like little stickers, but I'm really not gonna trust the adhesive on them, especially since I kind of needed to clean it up a little bit to kind of get the extra paint off the edges. So I just attach mine with a little dot of hot glue on both. And we're not gonna do like a little smile or anything like that. I think the snowman's a little too tiny. I think he's just gonna have room for little eyes and of course that little carrot nose that we made out of clay. So I'm going to hot glue it right there where it kind of points off to the side. Super cute and classic snowman looking. And now we can just go ahead and attach the scarf. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. I decided to cut mine like 2/3 and just go ahead and do that part. I kind of wanted to make it look like it's kind of blowing in the wind. And then I can cut down the tail part for the other part and kind of glue that coming straight down to the side. Now, right here, I thought I hit record, but I guess I just turned my camera on. But what you missed was I used some of the wire jute from Dollar Tree. I cut down 2 little arms for a snowman, hot gluing the ends so that it would not fray from the wire. And then I used twine for like the little hand, doing a little piece on the top and a little piece on the bottom of each one of my little wired jute. And it makes perfect little snowman arms to kind of fill out my snowman. Just trying to clean up any excess hot glue on there. I was trying to decide if I was going to save this bow. It's kind of cute, but I kind of would like to do something a little bit more Christmassy down here. So I just removed that with a little heat. And then I thought jingle bells would look really cute down there. They would coordinate nicely with like the rivets on the sides. And since there isn't any of those on the bottom, we could just use jingle bells instead. So these are kind of tied onto the string. I just want like the individual jingle bells. And so I'm going to do like the brass colored ones. So they'll kind of match the brass rivets on this side. And I'm going to do 3 of them to go along the bottom of the little snowman sign. And I'm just going to attach them with hot glue. I'm going to have this one kind of pointing down. I'm going to have the other 2 kind of pointing up just to kind of make it random. And that part of the snowman sign is complete. I love that burlap sign. I'm glad I picked up a bunch of those. I first saw them a couple months ago down in Boca Raton, but now we have them at our stores here too. Now to decorate the base, I thought some of these little holly berries, they're kind of frosted. Greenery from the Dollar Tree would be cute. I'm going to do like just a couple of those little leaves, just cutting those apart individually. And some of the little frosted berries. I love that they look like they're covered in snow. And I'm just going to kind of hot glue those, kind of one going off to the side, kind of one coming out in the front. Just add a little Christmas flair. I'm also going to add the berries. I just have to cut off the stem on those to make them easy to attach. And I just kind of hot glue those right in between. And there it is, our little macrame snowman. I think he turned out so cute and was a great use for one of these new little frames from Dollar Tree. I think that is a great deal for $1.25 because the frame is done, the sign, the stand is done, the burlap is done, and everything. And you can just add whatever you want to it. And how sweet is that little macrame snowman? Complete with some jingle bells and some Christmas greenery at the bottom. I love him. He's so sweet. Okay, next DIY. I actually have one of these little autumn envelopes. They seem to have these for every season if you have one laying around. And then I also designed a printable, which I will include for you. And I'm going to use another one of those Dollar Tree square signs. They're my favorite. And I thought we could do a really fun, like, letters to Santa theme with one of these little envelope signs. So if you've got one of these laying around, I think they come out like Valentine's Day. I don't know if they come out for Christmas. I want mine to be gold though. So I'm going to go outside and give it a quick spray. And now the little metal envelope is now gold. I thought that would be festive for Christmas. I do kind of want to mask where it says autumn and the little picture on there. So I just do that with a little white acrylic just to kind of give me a blank canvas. We're going to cover that with burlap, but I don't want any of that showing through. Now I'm just going to leave like the hanger on this sign. Again, this is 8.5 by 8.5, so perfect for a sheet of paper. And I designed a great printable, it's very shabby chic, letters to Santa background. And I printed mine out 97% because that's as big as I can get it. So it's going to fill out most of the frame. And again, I print mine out on cardstock. It makes it so easy to DIY with. And how cute is this image? I'm going to just secure it to the sign. I go all over the Dollar Tree sign with a quick layer of Mod Podge. And then just lay that printable right on top. I designed this one with AI and it had like lots of typos on it. So I did have to go in there and do quite a bit of editing on it, but I think it turned out really pretty. And I just smooth that out with a paper towel to make sure that it's all laying flat. And then I can go right back in there with some more Mod Podge to seal it down. This is going to give us a great background for a little letters to Santa display. I think that looks really cute. Again, I want to do something about the frame because I don't really like the MDF plain exposed wood there. And I thought we could use some more of this white lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. This is the same ribbon that we used on Santa's beard. And I thought that'd be really cute to kind of tie them together. And I think that looks very shabby chic. And so we're just going to frame it out with that. It's the perfect size. So I'm just going to cut this down to size and we're just going to make a little lace ribbon frame. And I think it's really sweet. I think it definitely kind of goes with the vibe of the background that we designed there. And then my plan is to cover the inside of the envelope with some burlap, and we can kind of personalize that, make it really cute little letters to Santa, where it's actually an envelope where you can kind of put something in. Super sweet. I wanted to do very traditional Christmas with Santa and reindeers and stuff like that today. Snowmen. And so I'm just cutting a piece down to size. I'm not going to overlap those, so I cut my side pieces down a little bit shorter. Just kind of making sure the ruffle on mine is kind of pointing out on all four sides. Now, this is the burlap I was talking about earlier, the little burlap bags from the Dollar Tree. I love crafting with these. They are coated with plastic and they're synthetic burlap, so they cut without fraying. I've used this one for a previous DIY, so I kind of just have half of a bag left, and it's going to be perfect to give me a little piece of burlap to go inside my envelope. Now, it's kind of a tricky shape that I need to cut down to size, so I'm just going to kind of lay this on the back where I can kind of sketch that out. with a Sharpie that's envelope size so I can kind of make a little custom back to the envelope for the inside of the envelope, make that look like burlap. And I'm just going to cut that down to size. Now it is going to have to actually like fit down inside the envelope. So I am going to have to kind of trim up the sides to make that happen. But I do need it to be that wide there at the top of the sides of the envelope. But I do need to kind of make a little notch on both sides. And I kind of trim that until it fits. And that looks pretty good. Now to decorate it, I wanted to say letters to Santa, and I thought it'd be really fun to try to do that with stamping. I picked up like these little alphabet stamp kit at Dollar General. Super cute, and I also got like a little ink pad there, and I thought we could just stamp letters to Santa on there. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be kind of random, and it actually turned out really cute. So let me take you through the process. I went ahead and found all my letters that I'm going to need. And letters is kind of a bigger word, so I kind of need to do it right here. And then I'll have to be fairly tight to get everything in where you'll be able to read it. I always like to kind of start in the center. I probably didn't push that one down quite hard enough just to kind of center my letters. And then I can just go and spell out the word letters. I kind of did a really bad job on that one. And I was wondering, since I was quick, if I took a baby wipe, if I could kind of wipe it off. And I can, but I did get a little bit of bleeding from that. I tried to redo it. We are going to cover that in glitter a little bit later, so it does kind of help hide that mistake. But again, it's not supposed to look perfect. I thought it would kind of give the look of like a typewriter print or something like that for a letter to Santa. So we have letters. So now our second row is just going to be short. It's just going to be 2. So I'm going to kind of center that around our center T letter there for letters. And then Santa, again, we're going to start in the middle with N. And these 2 words are skinny enough that I think you're going to be able to read them just fine inside the envelope. So I just spell that all out. And stamping is really fun. It's not something that I am practiced at all, as you can tell. But I think it's kind of fun and whimsical. So now it's just a matter of attaching that inside the envelope to give a new back. Very cute. I definitely think the burlap goes well with the Shabby Chic, and so does the stamping. And I'm going to use Mod Podge. I think that's going to be the best way to attach it. Even though that has a plastic coating on the back, it seems to Mod Podge well. You just have to kind of give it a little bit of time to dry. So I just put a layer of Mod Podge and kind of slide this down into my envelope right into place. So if you have one of those envelope signs, you can totally make it into a Santa DIY. Again, I don't know. I don't think I've seen these for Christmas. They may have had them. I'm not sure. And then I'm just going to I think I'm going to kind of center it here. I thought about making it at the bottom, but then I kind of decided I kind of wanted it centered. And I'm going to attach my little metal envelope with hot glue. I just kind of go all over, kind of centering that on my sign and gluing it on there. So fun. Now I thought it needed something there at the top to kind of cover up the hole in that hanger and a little decoration. And I thought these little glitter stickers from Dollar Tree would be perfect. They have a reindeer, so that's totally going to go with their little letters to Santa theme. And it's gold and sparkly and so pretty. And it kind of inspired me to glitter the burlap there. And that's what I did, but I forgot to hit record again. But this is what I did. I just sprayed it with some multi-purpose spray glue, and I used some gold glitter that I picked up at Walmart and went all over. I probably should have done that before I put it all together, but I was able to do it pretty good. And I love the shimmer to the burlap now. I think it looks so pretty. And it kind of hid that area where I kind of like messed up my stamping a little bit. But I love the gold shimmer. It definitely goes well with the gold metallic envelope. See how it shimmers? And it goes nicely with that little reindeer as well. Super cute and sweet little letters to Santa DIY. The pictures don't show the glitter as well as the video did, so I'm glad that I showed you that too. But I think it's so cute, and I love that background. So cute, and I will be sure to include that printable. I'll include a link to my Google Drive in the description below. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about our private Facebook group. I have it linked in the description below. You'll find out when I post new content, and you'll get to see what everyone else has been crafting. I also have a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube on all of those. Okay, let's get back to the DIYs. I picked up 2 of these like cheap bells from the Dollar Tree, and I thought we could give them a makeover and kind of make them look glam. They're kind of pretty as is, but I thought we could make them even more special. So I'm going to kind of take off the cheap bow and greenery and stuff like that and kind of give them a little bit of a makeover. Now, they're already gold, but I'm actually going to go in and spray paint them gold because I kind of wanted them to be the same shade as that little envelope that we just DIY'd. I think it looks just a little bit better. So I'm just going to stick a paintbrush in the end to kind of make a handle. I'm going to go outside with my metallic gold spray paint and just spray the outside of these. And I'll kind of show you, I'll do one at a time so you can kind of see the difference, to see why I did it. Completely optional. This is the difference. It's just going to give you a different sheen. I just think it looks a little bit more high end. So I'm going to go ahead and paint both of those, give them a quick dry. And then I was trying to think of something that I could decorate them with. And I have some of these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree, and they are gold metallic. And I thought we could do something really fun with this design. Now, I only have 1 sheet of them, so I'm going to have to be frugal and kind of use the whole thing. And the shape of the bell is kind of weird, where I'm not going to be able to put down a whole sheet of them at a time, so I'm going to have to kind of cut them out. So I just kind of cut like a curvy pattern around the designs in there, so I don't really cut anything off. That way I can kind of cut it down into little pieces that we can use that transfer method and kind of put them wherever we need, and it's going to be nice and flat. And I'm going to use every single one on here. I wasn't able to cover the front and back of both of them, but I was able to cover the front and the sides of both of them, so you can't really tell that the back doesn't have any on there. But it's just a matter of peeling the back off, placing them on. At first I was scraping really hard with like a little scraper, but then I realized how easy it was for this foil to come off. And you can see how glittery these are. They're way more sparkly than I expected, but I kind of liked it. This one I did not cut the same as the other one, so just trimming that one down so it'll fit. And look at that gold sparkle. I think it's really fun and glamorous for Christmas. I'm just going to kind of repeat that pattern all around, just kind of alternating where I place those, just kind of wherever, like I'm doing it upside down, kind of down here on the bottom part of the bell. And we are just going to continue to do that. I realized they were so easy to transfer that I was just using my fingers and like my fingernail to scrape those down. It's probably the easiest ones I've ever used. I don't know if it's because they're like the gold foil, but they were really easy to transfer. So I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around. If you've ever done these before and you've done a pattern like this, you know it is a little time intensive, but I think it turns out really cool, and it really made these bells like really pop. I love the design instead of just being plain gold bells. I kind of wish I had 2 sheets of these so I could have done all the way around the backs as well, but I'm just going to use mine for a wall hanging, so I don't think you're going to be able to tell as long as I have them placed correctly. So I'm using like all the corner pieces wherever, and I'm just kind of repeating that pattern all over, kind of like a wallpaper print. And it just really gave like kind of a gold leaf texture all over. It actually turned out a lot cooler than I expected. At first I was like, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see the gold on gold, but you totally can. So this is how they look. I'm just kind of wiping off any of the excess to make sure it's nice and flat. And it has this really cool pattern all over our little bells. Now, I thought they'd make a really nice wall hanging to hang the 2 together. So they have like little holes punched through here where the greenery was. So I kind of want to cover that up. So I'm just going to take some twine and bring that through and kind of tie that off. I don't really want to cover the center though, because I want to be able to hang these up. So I kind of need that part open and just kind of tie it around. I want to kind of wrap that around to cover all that anyway. And I think the twine will look nice. So I'm just going to kind of do that with rope. I tied this one off, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And then I'm going to cut another piece of twine to feed down through the center. It's not going to have like an actual, what are those things called that rings the bell? I can't remember. If you can remember, leave it in the comments below. It's not going to have one of those, which I think is fine. I don't think it really needs it. And I feed that through knotted on the inside so it'll stay in there. And then I continue that jute rope all the way around, filling in the hole and covering up the plastic sides where it was all kind of cut up before. And we're going to go through and do the same thing on the second bell. I'm so glad I've almost made it all the way through this voiceover. With this cold, I really didn't know if I was going to be able to talk this long. I have had to take lots of breaks and use cough drops, but I think we've almost made it. So again, I tied that one off, and then before I cover everything, I feed another strand of the jute inside, knotting it inside so it won't fall off. And then I glue this in a spiral pattern, working my way up, covering all the plastic pieces, and then cutting off my twine. I thought it'd be really kind of high end to do some wood beads on there. So I have a couple different sizes. I've got these on Amazon, but you could totally use the ones from Dollar Tree too. I thought I would do like a small one, a large one, and then like 2 small ones on mine. And I'm going to do the same pattern here on the other one. It's only going to have like wood beads here at the bottom part, but I think that'll make it look nice. And then I made the twine nice and long so that we can kind of tie them together. So I tied them together right about here. And then I'm going to tie another knot at the top to make a hanger. And then I kind of wanted to make like a quick, easy, like little swag to attach to those and to kind of make it like a little decorative piece to hang on the wall. Now I found this little gift topper for $1 at the Target dollar spot. It's wood. It says Merry in gold. So I thought that would be perfect. It's got wood beads on it too, which I'm going to cut off because I thought it might be competing against the wood beads that I've already got on there. And then I'm going to use some of this glittery garland picks from Dollar Tree. I thought this would go really nice with some of the DIYs we've done today and really nice with the gold theme on the bells. So they are wired, so I'm just wiring mine together. So I did 3 of them, and then I'm going to do like 2 more to form like just a little tiny swag. And I just kind of get a big pile of metal there at the top. And then I am going to attach it right where we kind of knotted the bells together the first time and bend the wire over to hang the swag on top. And then I cut the wood beads off my little gift tag hanger, and I'm going to tie that around too to kind of keep it in place at the same area. It's hard to see right now, but you'll be able to see it in just a second. Let me lay it down so you can see it. So the gold sparkles are so cute on there. I used some more twine to kind of tie everything in place, make sure the swag is not going to go anywhere. Just knotting that and cutting off the excess twine. Now we have a little hanger at the top. We have a little glittery swag, a little Merry tag, some wood beads, and our beautifully decorated Dollar Tree bells. Aren't they so sweet? And this is how it looks hanging together. I think this would look great anywhere. This would be cute on a door. I think I'm going to hang this maybe like right outside my bedroom. I have a little wall there. I always like to hang something really cute. And look how cute those bells turned out. I love them. Very gold and traditional, but with a little fun and modern touches to them. And now you've made it. It's time for the final reveal. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to tell me your favorite DIY in the comments below, or just come say hello. Don't forget to like the video and please subscribe. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Enjoy!
watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. We're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho, ho, ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Merry Christmas Day. A Merry Christmas Day.
And I want to give a huge thank you to all of the Crafty Beach Bum members for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much to Coastal Couple, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Sandra Ray, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Verna Noctegal, Nancy Warner, Julie Miller, Jan Zalata, Tammy Coates, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Whitney Harrison, Maria Grace, Butterfly Mama, Donna Schreiner, and Tina Kane. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Every little bit helps. And if you would like to join and be a member of Crafty Beach, all you have to do is hit the join button underneath this video. You're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it is $4.99 a month, and you can cancel anytime. If you would like to watch more Crafty Beach DIYs today, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Happy crafting and Merry Christmas.